Oh, it's going. Okay. Hey everybody, Christopher T Magician here. T stands for Taco. 25 days, 25 videos, every single holiday shows. There we go. You get the idea. This is what, video number 15, and this one happens to be a little special because I'm going to do two things that we don't normally do. First, I am going to, in a few seconds, cut away from this video, and we are going to watch not a live video, we're gonna watch a video of a live performance for this routine that I used to start my Christmas shows. This video is from last year's show at Santa's Village up in the California mountains. And it is my version, or my Christmas version, of the classic Silver Scepter, which is probably my favorite trick in all of children's magic. If you don't know it, watch the video and you'll see why I like it so much. The video is terrible quality. It's just my camera set up to the side and I just recorded it just so I had a record of the show. But I'm gonna let you see it because I think it's important to see how the audience reacts to this trick. That's why I love it so much. I love this trick so much. I have a version, or the patter is adapted for Halloween shows, and then that worked out so well that I adapted the patter for Christmas shows. So we'll watch that video, we'll come back here, we'll talk just a little bit more about this, and then we're gonna go into a guest star. He's not here in person, he's here in spirit. The brilliant Rob Erdman, who's not only brilliant creatively, but he's brilliant at constructing things. He's going, or he allowed me to share with you his idea, his take on the Silver Scepter to make it even more Christmassy than the version I'm doing. It's a brilliant routine and it's something that you can easily make. So, we're gonna cut away to the video, then we'll come back here and we'll talk about a lot of fun stuff. So, let's cut to the video now.
I love the holidays because when it's the holidays, there is magic in the air. I'm a magician, so I love it when there's magic in the air. And so I invented this. This is the Magic in the Air Testinator. Yes, this thing can test if there's magic in the air. I'll show you how it works. All you do, you take a piece of cloth, you polish it up like this, okay? Then you push it down, just like that. Now, if there is magic in the air, whoop, it rises up like that. If there's no magic in the air, it stays down like that. Got it? Good. Okay, good. Alright, we need some magic words. Now, normally my magic words are Yay Taco, because that's my middle name, Taco. But today, in honor of being up here in Santa's Village, in honor of the holidays, my magic words are Merry Taco. You got it? Okay, everybody wiggle your fingers, wiggle your fingers. When I count to 3, you say Merry Taco. If there's magic in the air, whoop, rises up like that. If there's no magic in the air, stays down like that. Okay, here we go. Wiggle your fingers. On the count of 3, say Merry Taco. 1, 2, 3. Merry Taco. Loud. Merry Taco! Say Merry Taco. Well, this is, I guess Christmas is over. There's no magic in the air. This is awful. I thought maybe I'm here in Santa's Village, so it's so big for that. I thought I pushed that down. Like I was saying, I thought up here in Santa's Village, there would be magic in the air, even though Christmas is over. Did that just go up? I need you to all do me a favor. Point at it. Everybody point at it. Say, look! Perfect. If it goes up again, I want you to shout, look. One more time. Say, look! Okay, that's good. Practice one more time. If it goes up, say, look! Look. If it goes up again, that's exactly what yes, that's perfect. That's exactly. That's great. That's exactly what wait for it to go. Wait for it to go up. Wait until sorry about that. No, it's great. All right. Okay, that's enough. Stop. Sorry. Guys, you know what this means? There must be Christmas magic in it! Okay, you listen to me, Testinator. This is my show. And I will not have you come out here. Look at that. Wait, I know what to do. I know what to do, guys. This case is specially made for... Oh my gosh, I do it on the ground. This case is specially made for the Testinator. If I place this down inside the case, it cannot get out. Okay? Even if we're up here in Santa's Village, even if it's a lot of Christmas, I didn't push it down all the way. If I push it all the way in, even if there's Christmas magic in the air, even if we're up here in Santa's Village, even if you say Merry Taco, say Merry Taco! Like, even I'll turn it sideways, that way the show. I'll turn it upside see it's sealed on the bottom. There's no way you can get it out. Do you know what this means? There is Christmas magic in the air. Give a big round of applause.
All right, there you go. That was my routine with the Silver Scepter. I call it the Christmas Magic in the Air Testinator. I'm still working on that title. Terrible title. Really, there's not much else I need to tell you about the Silver Scepter. I don't mind going into the workings because I'm going to tell you where I think you should buy this. It's still something, it's easier to buy than to make this. But all you're doing, this is elastic, and it has 2 beads at the ends. And so you basically, when you polish it up, you're going to grab the bead with your finger, or with your thumb and finger, and push down. So I'm basically holding that bead with my finger, and since the elastic goes up there to your hand, that's going to allow that to rise up. All right? That's it. But you can see in the video, it gets so many great reactions. What I also love about this, it's amazing for young kids. They love shouting out to this, but even older kids are pretty fooled by this. A lot of them, though, will always say, oh, it's your thumb. Your thumb's doing it. You're pushing it up with your thumb. And what I love about this routine, and by the way, this general entire routine, other than the opening and a few little tweaks, is based mainly on Terry Herbert's routine from Children's Magic, The Terry Herbert Way, which is a brilliant DVD. You should own it. You should watch it. It's amazing. But what I love about it is any kid who thinks, oh, you're just pushing it up with your thumb, the second half of this routine involves putting it into the bag. And what's cool about that is everything, your hand is completely open and visual. They could see your thumb and everything. So it just is sort of like they thought they knew how it happened, and then it adds on to the mystery. So really, even for older kids, that's a pretty good trick. All right. Before I move on from the Silver Scepter to the new idea for the Silver Scepter, you could get some cheap Silver Scepters out there. I mean, $10. I did that for years, and I bet I spent over $100 eventually, not including shipping, so really more than $100 on Silver Scepters, because after like 50 performances or even less, they would break on me. I even bought some that broke before I opened the package and boom, it was broken. And then some I got in the mail, and they were just terrible. Like they didn't even break. I just looked at them and I was like, well, I can't use that. That looks like crap. All right, so I'm going to tell you right now. I already mentioned Practical Magic in England before. Practical-magic.com. I don't get any money from this. They have no idea that I'm telling you this. I'm not affiliated with them in any way other than the fact that Gary Dunn, who runs the place, is a genius and he's a great guy. But other than that, he doesn't know I'm doing this. But if you're going to get one of these, I say get it from Practical Magic. They sell the absolute best. It also comes with a cloth bag that other ones come with crappy little cheap plastic ones. So look at Practical Magic in England. This, if you're in America, I think even with shipping, this cost me about $40. So the prop and the shipping will be about $40. And I'm telling you, it's worth that investment. I can do an entire video just talking about this. Okay. So that's the Silver Scepter. That's my routine with it, the Christmas Magic in the Air Testinator. Now we're going to move on to Rob Erdman's brilliant idea, which is essentially a sort of a candy cane peppermint stick a Silver Scepter. Now I made mine really quickly so that I could demo it for you guys. So there will be some little changes, but this it works really great. It works really well. And I'm going to show you how I built this. This is just a piece of plastic tubing. All right? It is not even PVC. It's thinner than PVC, which means it's very lightweight. That's what you really want. You want something lightweight. What you really want, though, this, you see it kind of bends all around. You want aluminum. And I'm going to tag Rob Erdman in this video. He can answer your questions for you. He told me what kind of aluminum. It's an aluminum fencing post or something like that. But it's very lightweight and it won't bend around like this. This will still work, but we'll tag Robert Erdman on this and he can help us figure all this out. So the first thing you do is you need a very lightweight but somewhat sturdy pipe. Second thing you need, you want to decorate it. This pipe was, I think, gray when I bought it. I got it at Home Depot. I couldn't find what Rob suggested, but I probably could have if I took more time. I was in a rush. So next you want to decorate this up. Again, we'll probably defer to Rob because I bet he decorates his in a more sophisticated way than I did. But this is just electrical tape, vinyl tape. And what you want to do is you do strips of white all the way down it, all the way around. I think it took about 5 strips. But when you unroll electrical tape or vinyl tape, you want to unroll it because it's going to stretch and then let it set. Because it does stretch when you unroll it, it's going to slowly shrink a little bit, right? You want to do that before you put it on so it doesn't shrink on here. Also, when you put it on, you want to leave about 3 inches here and 3 inches here, press it down and let it sit for another minute just in case it shrinks up on you. You don't want the tape to shrink down and not cover the whole round. Then cut off and leave about 1 inch, push that down into the pipe and make it look nice and neat, and that's it. So it took about 5 strips of white tape all around to make it white. Again, Rob probably has a better way of doing it. I didn't want to paint it with spray paint because I knew that would chip off, so he probably has a better way of painting it or decorating it. And then finally I took red electrical tape, rolled it out, let it set for a few minutes, overlap in case it shrinks, and then just slowly wrap it around. You do not want to pull it to wrap it around and stretch it. You just want to very gently wrap it because every time you stretch it, it's going to want to shrink back, all right? So that gets done around. Poke a little bit of the rest of that into the end of the tube, and then finally I put a little electrical tape around the ends right here. All right? And then finally, here's the brilliant part about this. These are just little jingle bells. I got these from the dollar store, and they are already basically rigged to work for a silver scepter, because all you're gonna do is tie a piece of elastic, thread it through there and tie it to one of those bells. Now here's, let's say you get a silver scepter, you're also eventually going to have to fix the elastic. So let me tell you about this real fast while I tell you how to build this. So what you're gonna do, you need a very strong elastic. So go to your craft store. This is called cord elastic, and if I pull on it, it just really pulls back really strong. And that's what you want. You want something strong enough that will lift something like this, okay? That will lift the pipe. So that's why you want to get a strong elastic. So just basically go to your craft store and tug on all the elastic until you find one that seems pretty strong. Alright, so you're going to take the elastic, tie it to one of the beads, or in this case a bell, and let it go all the way down out the bottom of your pipe. Then you're going to thread this bell on. So thread it through that elastic, but don't tie it yet. And then here's what you're gonna do, and this is the same when you do when you're gonna fix your other silver scepter, is you're going to stretch that elastic out as far as it goes. So imagine I have a long piece going even further out my hand. And then what you're gonna do, this pole's a little bendy, which isn't great. All right, so you're stretch out. This is as far as it'll stretch, and then I'm gonna bend it up to the top of the pole. And that is the perfect length for the elastic for your silver scepter, right? So you're gonna stretch the elastic out, fold it up so it touches the top, and that point right there is where you're gonna tie that other bell. And that gives you the just perfect amount of tension for your silver scepter. By the way, that method of tying your silver scepter, I think I learned from John Kimmins, also from England. So thank you to him. I think it was him. So that's it. Just that's your elastic, and that's it. You got a bell over here with elastic tied to it, and it goes through here, and it's tied to that one. All right. Just so you know, same with the silver scepter. These have little beads on the end. When you want to fix this, you thread, you tie it to one. The elastic goes out through the bottom. Thread this one on there. Pull it as tight as you can. Stretch it up to the top, and when this is all the way stretched out and bent up to the top, that's the point right there where you want to tie that extra bead, and that gives you just the right amount of tension to do the routine. Okay, So back to this guy. You could do the routine I just did with this as a magic in the air testinator. Same thing, you're gonna polish it up, grab that little bell, and push down. Now this is not how Rob Erdman uses this prop, but it works exactly the same. There's one little thing I would do differently if I were to do this, use this prop with that routine, and that is, here I have red tape going around here. I would use either a red bell or a red bead or something so that it blends in with that red a little better. Because when I polish this up and grab that bead and pull it up, you can see that the green is now missing. So if you have a red bell or a red bead or something, it's just less likely to be noticed that it's now missing. But there you go, you can do the exact same routine. Woo! All right. But that's not how Rob uses it, and this is his idea, and I think it's great. And the way he uses it means you can use whatever you want. It could be green, and it doesn't have to match. Because what he does, this is essentially his naughty or nice tester. And what you do, what he talks about is the fact that it would be way too much for Santa to carry that naughty and nice list with him. A giant list, that'd be too much. So that's why he brings his naughty and nice tester with him to everybody's house. So what he does is he goes to your house and he goes to your stocking. And he takes the naughty nice tester and he pushes it down into the stocking. If you've been naughty, nothing happens. It stays exactly the same. But if you've been nice, whoop, it rises up. I think maybe Rob does it differently. I think maybe Rob says if you've been nice, it stays the same. But if you're naughty, it rises up. I think that's what he does. But it doesn't matter. You can, however you want to phrase it. I think I like that better. If it's naughty, it rises up, and I'll tell you why. So basically, you can get some kids up to help. Oh, and then this is the part, again, Rob's brilliant idea. This is not just a stocking. This is a change bag stocking, which you could get at a lot of magic dealers, very inexpensive. And he loads one side with like a piece of coal or multiple pieces of coal. And then on the other side are little trinkets, little presents, pieces of candy or something like that. So you can get a child up. We're going to wave this over your head, and then we'll place it in the stocking and find out if you've been good, if you've been naughty or nice. So it just goes in the stocking. By the way, when it goes in the stocking, if I didn't explain already, you just grab that bead. I'm grabbing that bell with my fingers, and then I push this down. And that automatically allows it to, sorry, it's getting caught up, allows it to rise up because I'm holding that tension of the elastic. Okay, so you wave it over the child's head and let's find out. She's been good. Here, you know what? You get to reach in the bag. And so the child reaches into the bag, into the candy or a little present compartment, and they get a little present. Or you can reach in and pull it out for them. You could do that with a few kids, and every time, nothing happens because they've been good. Then finally, when it's your turn, oh, you know what? Let me try it on me. Let me show you how it works for me, right? I've been very good this year too, so I'm very excited, okay? We push that down. And look at that, it's not gonna rise up because I've been very good this year. I'm very excited. I've been what? No, I've been very good. That was a mistake, okay? Okay, perfect. I've been very good. And then the fun idea that Rob has is that when you're figured out that you've been bad, you can reach into the stocking and you find a lump of coal. So his version is a naughty and nice tester. I think it's brilliant. In the future, since I've done this in the past, I might try his version and do it as the naughty and nice tester, just to mix things up. The bottom line though is, if you were to say, hey Christopher, what's your favorite prop in all of Kids Magic? I think it would honestly be the Silver Scepter. I could talk about this for hours. I won't, you're welcome. But if you don't have a Silver Scepter, I highly recommend it. And but for right now, you can go ahead and make your own Silver Scepter out of just props or things that you get at your local hardware store and maybe a dollar store, and boom, and your craft store, and you've got something that you can put into your show tomorrow. So thank you so much, Rob Erdman, for allowing me to share this idea. And I'm gonna tag you in this video so that if anybody has questions, I'll answer whatever I can. I don't know a lot, but Rob is so generous. I'm sure he'll answer and help out with whatever he can. All right, thank you guys so much, and thank you so much to Rob. Everybody say thank you, Rob. Boys and girls, say thank you. Okay, good. My name is Christopher T. Magician. T stands for Taco. This is video number 15. We've got 10 more to go. I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.